Join Aegis Motor Adventures as they ride the TransAmerica Trail through New Mexico's backroads. You won't want to miss this backcountry trek through desert and high plains. Here's Mike with the day's intro.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Hey, today we're right back on the TransAmerica Trail again, and we'll be going here from Fort Sumner to Logan, New Mexico. We've only got about 150 miles today that we're planning on doing. It's a little bit shorter today, but I'm looking forward to it. Let's get started here.
Today we continue to the north by northeast. We will be riding through a more populated area also. This becomes problematic later in the morning when Mike encounters navigation issues due to too many road options. This house and ranch was quite the ponderosa compared to a lot of them that we had been seeing. Really looked nice and well organized. I had to honk the horn at this group of cows. They seem content to block the road. Obviously not too many people come through here. This windmill field that you see here sat up on top of that plateau there. And once we got up top, those windmills went on for probably 20 miles. This red dirt road with a little bit of gravel on it is going to take us to our first challenge of the day. This hill climb was a little challenging. The road had rocks and was washboarded. The climb to the plateau was only about 100 to 150 feet in elevation change, but it was steeper than the camera angle shows. We take a short ride on Highway 282, and then navigation issues begin. The mileage and road designation appear to be slightly off on the roll chart. An attempt to enter coordinates fails because of the many road options. We end up in someone's ranch with the road long abandoned. A change to another set of coordinates further along the trail gets things straightened out. This is a little unusual, but not unheard of. They've taken the gate out here so that you can drive around the cattle grate. I've seen it before, but most of the time you have to go right over the cattle grate. While coming up on an intersection, we're forced to take a left-hand turn, and Roy has just a little bit of an oopsie here. He fails to negotiate the turn, and the bike goes down on him. Luckily, it was slow speed, and it just kind of fell over on him. First, we drag the bike back out onto the hard-packed road edge where the front tire won't skid out on him. He's able to just kind of walk it out into the more firmer hardpack where trucks have traveled that allow him to get back on the bike, and we get back on our way. Like I've said before, if you ride adventure bikes, at some point you're going to drop your bike or crash. It's just going to happen, and there's not much you can do about it. In this particular case, it doesn't even look like it's that rough an area that might be happening. But just the simplest things can trip you up. The flat terrain that we're riding through is conducive to farming, and so we're seeing a lot of farming in this particular area, not just ranching. This explains why there's more population here and that there's more roads that intersect. When we get to the end of this road where it intersects with the highway, we take a short break, and one of the ranchers turns around, comes by to talk with us. He recently purchased a motorcycle shop in a local town there, and we had a super nice chat with him before we headed back out onto the TransAmerica Trail. If you're ever in the area of Clovis, New Mexico, and you find yourself in need of a motorcycle shop, that'd be a good place to look. The guy seemed really nice, and I'm sure they do all they could to help you out. We took a slight deviation to the TransAmerica Trail, but it worked out because we got to see this small herd of mule deer. I was able to film the does and fawns from both ways. They hung tight just long enough to get some great video. This doesn't look much like a highway, does it? But it's actually designated a highway, and we go through an absolutely beautiful area that I think is a designated area here. The plateau from Endee Hill looks over the valley there, and it's just beautiful. And the road through here is magnificent. I get a kick that they put a truck steep incline sign there and a warning to motorists that it's unpaved and that it may be impassable during inclement weather. This is really a cool road, and you will not want to miss this section if you do the TransAmerica Trail. Just as a matter of comment, you can see that there's no guardrail, and trust me, that does just drop off. This next 16 miles is definitely the best ride of the day. This entire clip is like from the highlight reel. If you're looking for the best of the TransAmerica Trail, this is one of the sections that you'd pick. As we continued on Highway 93, it was evident that they were doing a lot of road work, and that indicates to me that the rugged road that was here now is just going to continue to be improved. So if you want to see it in its rugged condition, you better get out there now, because at some point it wouldn't surprise me if they paved this to make it easily accessible for tourists. This particular area seemed to have gotten some rain. It was much greener here than it had been on any of the previous roads that we had been on. In fact, some of the desert wildflowers were blooming. It was absolutely beautiful. As you can see, the road's been graded here and is in great shape. It was easy to run down this road in this portion. That looks like they're widening it and getting it well crowned for future paving. This clip here pretty much sums up New Mexico as we look over this pasture here. Sand, grass, and desert shrubs. As we approach Interstate 40, we cross over Old Route 66. We end up at exit 369, where Roy and I had previously visited Russell's Gallery Museum. Since the TAC goes right by this attraction, it would be a great place to take a break and check out the free museum. Since we had already visited the travel center, we proceed on. After leaving Highway 392, we get into some really deep sand areas back in there, and we decide to turn around. But I kind of regret that now, in that I wish we'd maybe pushed through it, because I don't know how long the sand would have lasted. It might have only been maybe 2 or 3 miles. And that would have brought us back out onto the highway as we approach Logan here. As we cross Revelto Creek, we're getting close to Logan. I thought this train bridge was really cool, so I tried to get some good video of it. Well, we've made it to Logan, and we're going to pull in here to the Subway and get a sandwich and something to drink and relax just a little bit before we find our hotel. Wow, what a day. I'm out of the shower. I feel better now. I was pretty exhausted. We're going to get the bikes covered up and call it a day here. But what a fantastic day. Yesterday, my GoPro battery had perfect timing, and it shut me off of loss of battery before I actually finished up the video yesterday. But we had an eventful day. Roy went down on the bike a little bit. Luckily, he wasn't hurt at all, and that went well, and we went through some beautiful country. So I hope you liked that video. If you did, please give it the big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.